Hey everybody, this is Brandon from Virtual Armory talking about assembling an Ultibrace kit with the front end grip. Very easy to do. This is exactly how I ship it, so when you get the package and unwrap all the little packaging material, you're going to have these three bits, exactly as you see here. So, first piece, we want to attach these. I'll have the screw already in just like this to keep it from falling out during shipping. Just remove it, and then you'll pop it together. Every time you see a bolt is actually an adjustment point with the exception of these two right here. So pretty self-explanatory. They're geared connections for angle adjustments, and then we have these bolt through for linear length adjustments. It's all designed to be incredibly solid once you get it put together and screwed together with a screwdriver. The little thumb knobs are really for convenience to hold these in place, as well as to kind of take up some of the pressure from the nuts and bolts. So, as you can see, I've got it tightened with the screw, and you'll check to make sure that the gears are actually aligned. In some cases, they can kind of be off. Typically not, but worth checking. But once those are on, it is super strong. You can throw grenades as hard as you want. This should be able to handle it. As long as you're not slamming into a wall full of force, it's a pretty durable product, honed in with a lot of, however many thousands of hours in competitive contractors and onward play. So that's the back end. Let's talk about the front end. The front end grip. Same as the back, basically. You slide this over. I will point out that when I sell the whole kit with the front end grip included, I'll have this piece already attached. If you're ordering it as an upgrade after your initial purchase, you'll need to drop in the little screws, which they won't be glued in place. I glue them in place if you have it as one kit purchase, so those don't fall out. You can choose to add a little dab of glue or just get it screwed in there on your own and not take them out again so they don't fall out. But, once you get this tight, same deal, incredibly strong, but you want to make sure it's tight. I might recommend a little flathead screwdriver. It's less likely to strip than a Phillips, but it really doesn't matter. You don't have to get it so tight that you start to strip the metal, just tight enough to make sure that everything's really engaged. And you can test it. If there's a bit of play, it means, it needs to be tightened a little bit more. So now we can talk about how the front end grip actually works. So there's two types. I've been selling this type. This is kind of like a popular approach. There's several other gun stocks that use a similar design. I call this type 1. And what it does is give you a little bit of leeway to actually find it with your goggles on and still be able to grab that button. So you're actually letting this press the button for you, and that gives you a lightning quick and instantaneous connection. And then you can grab that, the little handle with your fingers. It gives that a nice solid feel. The other thing this allows you to do, at least with the front one, I made it just long enough that in most games, if you're playing with a shotgun, you can do a shotgun pump while it's and just slide it across one another, and that'll register. Not every game allows you to do that, but this is another point of convenience. This right here mostly came about for breachers and Ghosted to Bore. Breachers is a little bit more forgiving. It's not required. You can use an SMG and a rifle with just this grip and it'll still register it. Ghosted to Bore, I have found there's some guns, and maybe they're improving it. There's some guns that are, on the shorter side, and if you try to grab, this with it further out, it's actually not going to register that as a grab. They want your hand to be placed more closely to where that handle is. So that's why I give you two. A lot of people don't use this, but that's what it's for. Adjustments, like I said, every time you see a bolt, with the exception of these two right here, that is an adjustment. Angle adjustment, slide length, this slides out, length adjustment. The grip itself tilts forward and back. That's the hub. This connection in particular, you do want to make sure is tight. Ironically, the main connection for the gun stock is a single gear and everything else is a double gear. Everything really only requires a single gear. They're remarkably strong when you have them tight. I just did double gears because of the dimensions. This is more of a 2D connection, not really a place to do 2 gears without creating a whole lot of extra plastic, and it wouldn't add a lot of strength, or actually any, without over-engineering it. And the rest are 2 gear, but hopefully self-explanatory. But I do like to point out that this is adjustable, so forward and back. This is adjustable, getting this grip to go sideways this way. And then you come back here, you can realign this with side to side adjustment on this gear, forward and back adjustment with this gear, so allowing you to get this nice and flush regardless of how you have this part angled. Here's one that isn't obvious to start off with. This is also an adjustment point, so you can get that placed wherever you like. Get that tightened again. This is height adjustable, of course, and then the cheek weld itself is then adjustable. So if you're tilting this really far back and you end up with it at a weird angle, you can come in here and reposition it so it's flush with your cheek, which is really nice. That allows basically endless adjustability. It's a really popular product, crazy enough. I made it for myself, and through the feedback of some incredible players, and Astreus, obviously, we landed on this particular product. So we're always honing in, always looking for feedback. So tell me your experience. We'll beef parts up. If you break them, we'll replace them. But we're here to stay, and we really want this to be a standout product for you, and a standout experience. Thanks for watching, and hit me up on Discord or even Etsy Messenger if you have any questions. Thanks so much.